Hi, it's Trisha Lee. I'm just out here with some of these young horses, and I just learned something that I wanted to share with you. I read from a very reliable source that I was talking on some of my other videos about why it's important to spread hay out and feed it on the ground. These little tiny horses are eating from this big ugly bale, and there is some on the ground. Hopefully that's what they're eating, but once that's eaten up, they have to get from the top of the bale. Anyway, so what I learned, what I read, is the reason why we want to feed horses on the ground instead of have them eating elevated food from like a round bale like that. And the reason is that, well, I knew that it was because they were adapted and that they had evolved to eat off the ground, because that's where their food is found. But what I learned is the reason that we as owners and caretakers want to be feeding horses at ground level has to do with the way that they breathe. So what happens is that when a horse's neck is extended for them to eat off the ground, their nasal passage is fully open. Oh, hello. The camera's not on you. Okay. So their nasal passage is fully opened when their neck is stretched out and they're at ground level. And when they go and eat see, this one's eating right now at an unnatural height. So its neck is not fully extended when it's eating the oats out of that feeder. And so what happens is that the nasal passage is kind of compressed. So because the nasal passage is compressed, if the animal happens to come across dusty or moldy hay, they'll get a concentrated dose when they're breathing, because their nasal passages aren't fully open to let full air come through and to filter out any dust or mold particles more easily. So a lot of heaves and breathing problems that horses get has to do with this unnatural practice of feeding horses from these elevated feeders and from round bales like that. As well as if they're standing at a round bale like that all day, they're not going to be getting nearly as much exercise as they require. So if you have some horses that you're feeding, I suggest that you put their feed on the ground and also spread it around to encourage them to have to make a lot of movement to get all of their needs met. So basically, if you put their water on one far end of the pasture and their feed on a couple other ends of the pasture, and try and keep them always having to be in motion to get their needs met, and they'll be much healthier and happier animals, because that's what they're supposed to do according to nature. So I just think it's really important that we provide these animals as much as possible what nature intended them, which does not include a stall or feeding from elevated levels. Thanks for watching.